And we're back with another episode of the No One Asks show where we give opinions that no one asks for. Very unnecessary show. We have a streamer getting abused by his mom, ABBA from ABBA and Preach getting exposed, women still freaking out over the Lindsay Clancy situation and self-reporting, and we have more. Apparently, Andrew Garfield wanted to make a gay Spider-Man. Let's just get into it. I feel like this situation just gave the entire black community PTSD. See, a lot of people are addressing this, but they don't want to address the real issue. But I'm not afraid to. So, you know what I'm saying? If you've seen the Nitro Camden situation, you've seen the clips. I'm not going to sit there and play the clips because I don't want to give. I don't, I don't want to trigger people. And mostly because I'm just lazy. I don't feel like going to get it. But I mean, if you guys really want to see the clips that bad, maybe I'll go and get them. But I really don't feel like it. I'm probably, I'm probably gonna have them playing in the background anyways. So I don't know what I'm doing. But I'll let's see if I can do a good enough job in describing what happened. So pretty much, uh, some random kid, 18, just turned 18 years old, was on, was live streaming to like one person. He's been streaming for like since I don't know for a cool minute, maybe 6 years. I don't know. He's been streaming to like one person for forever. Stable Ronaldo, a big streamer, decides to give him a huge boost by rating him. So naturally, Nitro Cannon is pretty happy. As he's celebrating, his mom gets angry, comes in, tells him to take his ass to bed. Niggas like, hell no, I'm on, I'm on, uh, I'm on goddamn Twitch with 10K people on me. Like, fuck no, I'm not going to bed, mom. Please, bro, just please, bro. She didn't care about none of that, bro. Cause this is what it's like living in this kind of household where it's not about there is no negotiating. You're not going to sit there and use logic in whatever. There's no opportunity that you think you have that's going to convince her. You need to do what she says. Now, as the clip progresses, she starts to get violent with him. I don't know. There's a point in the clip where I guess she bites him. I don't know. I thought she was kissing him for a second. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And apparently, to this, according to this Nitro Candace guy, he doesn't even remember what she did. He doesn't even remember the situation, which is wild. You know how what's the word I want to use? You know how out of it you have to be to repress something like that. Nigga must have been disassociating or something. That would be something that would stick with me if my mom did that. I ain't gonna lie to you. So she goes on to threaten to kick her son out, which is probably a lie, y'all. Maybe you can relate to your mom threatening to kick you out over some dumb shit or whatever, whether or not she meant it or not. So she threatens to kick him out, but she really means that shit. She's threatening to kick out a nigga who just turned 18, who's still in school. Nigga's still in school. School's about to start up for him. I don't know if you can even do that. You definitely can't do that. You can you at the very least need to give him 30 to 60 days, I guess. But right, like 30 to 60 days, I believe. So she's demanding that this guy leaves and is getting physical with him just because he wouldn't listen to her and go to bed. Again, the situation keeps escalating because he won't listen and he won't let her have the control that she wants or that she thinks she's entitled to. So instead of just letting it slide and let him do what he needs to do for that night, just letting it slide this once, she has to escalate the situation, and now I guess she has to kick him out because he wouldn't go to bed on time because he had 10K people in the chat. Like, nonsensical, but whatever. This is something a lot of you probably have had to deal with. This went incredibly viral online, on Twitter, on everywhere. Pretty much every streamer everywhere tapped in with him. Obviously the individual who rated him, Stable Ronaldo, Agent tapped in with him. Duke Dennis reacted to this. Pretty much everyone who's affiliated with Stable Ronaldo, Lacey, or all those streamers. I don't know all of them. Cena, all these people tapped in with him, and you sit there and you go to his stream. I tuned in for like a few seconds, you had people on stream trying to help him. Then you had people come on the stream talking about how that situation made them cry, made them tear up. You know, young black men coming in and saying that. And it's like it begs this question, like, why does this resonate so much within like black people? Especially black men. You sit there and you see Moist Critical talk about the situation. Most Critical did a video, got like 2 million views. I've seen Classic Man D did a short on it. That's how big the situation is. Like in the Classic Man, I think that got like almost 500,000. So a lot of people are. It's like incredibly viral, which sucks for the mom, I guess. But you watch the Moist Critical video, he just kind of the whole entire video, he kind of just seems baffled that that's happening. But with like you see a lot of younger black people, we're not really baffled that that happened. A lot of us, we get the psychology of what's happening in that video. We grew up in the same kind of environment, to a certain degree. Maybe not like as wild as, what was happening in that video, but we all kind of understand. If you're from the black community, we know how that type of situation goes. There's a lot of people, especially, in the streets, there's a lot of people who are in the streets because of a mother like that, because of a single mother raising them, taking out their anger out on their kids, and now the kids need to take their anger out. They have anger issues and they go to the streets with it. So what I want to do right here, I want to read a tweet I saw on Twitter. This almost has about 6K likes on Twitter right now. I think this tweet defines everything that's pretty much wrong with the black community, and kind of my point. So some nigga named Stay Down K tweeted, "Nigga made a living over the same beating I had to endure for fun my whole life. So it matters now because it's on stream? Suck my dick." This is kind of what I'm talking about in like the black community. It's these niggas that have kids, and then they're like, well, I gotta, I had to go through it, so they gotta go through it. Nigga, who's ever been like through that with their parents, where where your parents seem bitter that you have it better off than they did, like, on some hating ass shit. This is what dealing with niggas is like. Your parents raised you a certain type of way, so it can't be wrong. Again, in the black household, nigga, there is only one like Bible verse these niggas ever unquote. Honor thy parents or whatever. If there's a verse in the Bible about honoring thy kids or not provoking your kids, they don't know that verse. I never hear that verse getting uttered within the black household. Is always honor your parents so that your days be longer or whatever stupid nonsense. And not to say you shouldn't honor your parents. Obviously you should. But some of these people, they're not they're not parents worth being honored. I'm so tired of a parent, mom, dad doing some dumb shit, and then here comes another OG talking about some that's still your mom, that's still your dad. That's like, is this mentality why the black community is so poisoned? Because no matter what bad behavior is going on, we're not allowed to call it out because that's still your mom, that's still your dad. Realistically, this woman should be in prison for assault and child abuse, honestly, but that would be one step too far. If that happened, there'd be a bunch of people who like, okay, that's regardless of what she did, that's still your mother. That's, just excuses you probably wouldn't make for anyone else. It's that kind of stuff is how you get a mother like this. It's like even in the middle of their scuffle or whatever, or not really scuffle, more like her just abusing her son. She's sitting here and she's getting at him and she's sitting there telling him that his mind is twisted, because she genuinely believes that she's in the right. She genuinely believes that he's out of pocket because he wanted to stream a little bit longer to the 10K people he got. Life changing moment, and it did end up being life changing. But a life changing moment, you just got to redirect from one of the biggest streamers, a top streamer. You just got to redirect of 10K people there, that are still there. And there are like people who might compare her to like Speed's mom, where it feels like Speed's mom didn't really understand streaming or whatever. Well, obviously for once, I don't think Speed's mom never put her hands on Speed. Uh, I don't think she ever threatened to kick him out. She just kind of was annoyed that he was making a lot of noise and didn't really care about any of the goals or accomplishments he made as he was climbing up as a top streamer or whatever. Way different situations, but I don't think that this is people. A lot of people are like, well, she just, she's old. She's older. She's a mom. She doesn't understand really streaming. I don't think that's what it from what from the clips I saw. I don't think that's what it is at all. I think she fully understood the which with what the moment that he was having, because there's a moment in the clips where she's like, hey, cool, you got 10K people in your chat. Is you finna make enough money off of that to where, or are you going to make enough money off of that to where it's worth getting kicked out? That's what she's saying. That's what she said to him. She pretty much said, hey, you want to sit there and keep streaming to these 10K people, or do you want to root for it over your head? So she understood that there is some value to those 10K people that he was streaming to. She just didn't care. She wanted it to have her way. She didn't care what that moment was and what it meant to him. That's the most diabolical part about all of it. And there also is another clip. Again, I'm not finna about to search for these clips. There's another clip I saw where I guess she left him a voicemail or something, some type of message. Or, I don't know. It was some type of audio that he's playing. I don't know if it was like audio when she was yelling at him or whatever, but it was pretty much her blaming him for trying to ruin her life again or whatever due to the whole entire situation. And it's like, gang, there's no accountability with these type of people. And I sit there and tell you, it's the black community. It's the black community why these type of mothers, there's no accountability with them, because there's always going to be some idiot who's going to sit there and say, that's still your mom. Honor your parents. She gave birth to you. She didn't have to do that, blah, blah, blah. As if as if you being a mom or giving birth or being a parent entitles you to act any kind of way you want. All in all, though, you got a pretty good ending. Everything that it pretty much ended pretty good for him. He got out of his toxic ass home. Now he has a streaming career. He has streamer connections with streamers. He has streamers like Agent promising to collab with him. I think he's at like Aiden Ross event right now. The brand risk thing. So yeah, the nigga's straight. He's pretty much was handed mad bread for one, but also kind of a streaming career now. But look at their streaming career. Well, at the very least, he can at the moment leak it for maybe at least an M. So it worked out good for him. And unfortunately for his mother, look, she's being destroyed online. I'm sure there's some idiot somewhere maybe defending her or whatever. I haven't really seen it, but I'm sure it exists. But she's getting destroyed online, and in her mind, I don't think you'll ever see her take accountability. I wouldn't be surprised. Who knows? Maybe you'll sit there on online and you'll see a video of her calling out her son or something, giving her side of the story or something. Hopefully you don't see that, but nothing about these parents really surprised me though. So it wouldn't surprise me to see something like that. But all in all, this is one of those situations where I wish the best for bro. Because I can relate to kind of what he's going through. Although I've never had parents that bad. If I can keep it a buck with you, I can't relate too much, but I can relate a little bit. Because at the end of the day, I'm a black man who comes from a black family. So I think bro just met up with Speed too, which is like the biggest streamer. So and that's interesting because they kind of went through the same thing. I mean, to keep it a buck though, Speed's mom was not nearly as wild as bro's as this nigga's mom, but you know, nonetheless, it seems hopefully I wish the best for little bro. Next, we got ABBA and Preach, or ABBA from ABBA and Preach. You know, I don't want to include Preach in any of this. You know, I know a nigga named Preach probably doesn't want to be mentioning this degenerate shit. But, you know, another one released like, what, 45, 50 hour long video detailing her experience with ABBA or whatnot. I think I watched most of it. I don't know. I kind of blocked out most of it. But just to summarize, it's another woman that got pregnant by ABBA. She had a miscarriage. Said he mistreated her and whatnot. I gotta say, apparently they only like they met up once, had sex, and she got pregnant. I gotta say, from a nigga, ABBA might need to meet up with whoever the doctor who said that he had a low sperm count and whatnot. He probably needs to meet up with that doctor and throw hands. Cause I ain't gonna lie, either that doctor was lying to you or you were lying about the whole entire thing. Cause what's going on, nigga? All these women and women who you've only busted in once, nigga. That's actually that's low key impressive. I couldn't even front. But yeah, Evan Preach got her pregnant. I guess didn't treat her well. She got a miscarriage. He was cheating on her as well, and I guess she tried to claim that was, you know, grape or whatever, or some form of rape, whatever stupid ass nonsense. But nonetheless, this is kind of, again, I think Abba and Preach, or not, why do I keep calling this nigga Abba and Preach? Abba, he might just need to be spayed. I ain't gonna hold you. Abba might just need to get spayed. This nigga's on demon time out here. How you gonna have a show with a nigga named Preach while being on demon time? How many women came out and said this nigga done treated them bad? I wonder how much money ABBA made from dissing the whole entire red pill community or whatnot, or red pill ideology. Big bro almost damn near treat women worse than any of them niggas ever did. I ain't gonna hold you. Shit, at least them niggas up front with being pieces of shit. This nigga ABBA, you know, on the internet, it act holier than thou. You know, the most conflicted in all this is probably ABBA's ex girlfriend Destiny. You know, the debate nigga or whatever. Yeah, bro, probably the most conflicted in all this. You know, he wants to probably glow in ABBA's face because ABBA sit there and came out and was the number one person get on Destiny for his hedonistic lifestyle or whatnot. But now we learn that this nigga ABBA out here just busting anything. Shit. At least maybe when at least I don't know, Destiny probably wears condoms, maybe. I mean, you know, he probably doesn't need to wear condoms though when he's sitting there sticking his 3 incher in men's butt. So I mean, I don't know. You know, I kind of got to side with Destiny a little bit on this. To be honest, you know, you guys kind of live the same, well, not the same lifestyle. Let's be for real. Ain't nobody out degenerate that nigga Destiny, but it's like Destiny is degenerate online. You know, Abba is this is finger wagger online. You know, he's this guy who has this holier than thou persona who's going to give you relationship advice or whatnot. Don't nobody want relationship advice from this nigga no more. I ain't gonna hold you. So apparently Andrew Garfield in 2013, a quote from Andrew Garfield is going viral right now of him suggesting bisexual Spider-Man. Not even just bisexual Spider-Man, and interracial uh bisexual Spider-Man. So this is, I had to look this shit up because I didn't believe it. I thought it was just a joke or whatever. But this is what he said. Okay, I was kind of joking, but kind of not joking about MJ. He tells EW, and I was like, what if MJ is a dude? Why can't we discover that Peter Parker is exploring his sexuality? It's hard. It's hardly even groundbreaking. So why can't he be gay? Why can't he be into boys? I've been obsessed with Michael B. Jordan since The Wire. He's so charismatic and talented. It'd be even better. We'd have interracial bisexuality. Okay, so I ain't gonna lie, bro. Don't invite this nigga back to nothing. He's not. Don't invite him back to Doomsday. Don't invite him back to Secret War. You know, just keep that shit Toby and Tom. I ain't gonna lie to you. But this kind of reads like how I thought it read, kind of like a joke, cause it sounds like a joke. Like nigga, you know, Spider Man's like, I'm coming to save you, MJ or whatever, and then you know is fucking Jordan or something, or Michael Jackson or Michael B. Jordan or something. I don't know. It's like a SNL skit or something. And, you know, he says like he's joking, but he's kind of not joking. I don't know. I don't know, bro. This, you know, it was 2013. I don't know. Kind of reads like pandering, but also kind of not pandering, like more like a joke or whatnot. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, but white people, they gotta stop this. I'm not gonna hold you. Now, you know, 2013 was a different time. You know, this was like 13 years ago. Um, you know, I guess it's these kind of suggestions that kind of got the Amazing Spider-Man canceled. Cause I ain't gonna lie, this is the ideals y'all coming up with. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sony was smart to cancel that shit and reboot it in the MCU. I ain't, cause there's no way. And by the way, like it's kind of funny as a joke, but when you really think about this, it's kind of degrading to sit there and want Michael B. Jordan to to participate in something like this. You know, imagine going up to Michael B. Jordan like, "Hey, would you mind playing my bitch in Spider Man?" Like, nigga, what? Like, nigga, you could at least let him play. You could have at least let him play Miles Morales or something. You know, when he was young, when Michael B. Jordan was younger or whatever. You know, this was like 2013. You know, or you know, maybe that's something they could have did back when, you know, Michael B. Jordan was on The Wire when he was young enough. But sitting there and asking this man to play your MJ is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's degrading. That seems like some shit. That seems like a ritual, like a humiliation ritual. You know that they make you do before you. You know they really lock in with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Michael B. Jordan, you know, we got all these roles lined up for you. You just gotta do one thing and all that shit's yours. I'm not gonna lie, you know, we'll really lock in with you. You know, you just really got to submit to us this one time, though. You know, really let us know you'll be our bitch if we really put you on like that. But I don't know, bro. I don't think that after this role, if he actually ever did play MJ in Spider Man, that this nigga could ever go on to play Killmonger, fucking Creed. He could never go to star in Sinners. Like, nigga, we would not be one to see that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nigga, I might have to start a petition to save white people's creations from other white people. Cause I don't know what white people is doing, bro. Just let Spider-Man be a straight white male, bro. Stop. Y'all ruining my favorite superhero, gang. Like, you know, as a black man growing up, Spider-Man always my favorite fictional characters were always Goku, Spider-Man. No, you could always relate to Spider-Man. It doesn't matter what race you are, you know, what age you are, what gender, like nigga, anyone, you know, regardless of your sexuality, you could relate to Spider-Man. Everyone could relate to, you know, the young teen going through stuff or the young adult struggling or whatnot and all this all the hardship he goes to and still doing trying to do the right thing and being a superhero, all the time. Like there's so much into that character of Spider-Man that everyone should be able to relate to regardless. Like you don't need to sit there and switch up the character, make him gay, make him black, make him Asian, make him female. None of that type of stuff. Like nigga, Spider-Man's good on his own. And no matter what you change him to, no one's ever Spider-Man when we think of Spider-Man, we're always gonna think of Peter Parker. Like, get mad about it. We're not gonna think of Gwen Stacy. We're not gonna think of Miles Morales. You know, it's always going to be Peter Parker. If you want to make, you know, good gay characters, good black characters, good woman characters, you just really need to lock in and make a character people can really relate to or look up to. It's simple as that. You know, when you get into the lab, sit there and create a character like I think little girls will really be able to look up to this person. Or I think anyone will just be able to look up to this character. You don't need to do all this race swapping and all this gender swapping and all this emphasis on sexuality or whatnot. Like, bro, just leave these characters alone for real.
They should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Oh my god, they
And
should be
your
commended. They
sexism
didn't
and
kill their children.
News host goes off on other hosts over defending a woman who killed 3 of her kids.
She's a murderer.
I
These women
can't.
are
Okay,
cheering.
I'm done.
These are man-hating women that are standing outside. This is what it's about. They think the husband did it. They're crazy. They've lost their mind.
Do you know why
they're waving for a murderer?
Do you know why the woman is in a wheelchair? Did you even notice that she's
Couldn't care less. She's a murderer.
Because she jumped out the window after this.
I love how she sits there and says she threw herself out the window like we're supposed to care. Oh no, she probably should have threw herself out the window before she killed her kids. I don't know what I'm supposed to care. This woman just killed 3 kids. It's like sitting there and and feeling sympathy for a guy with mental illness who shoots himself after shooting up a school. Like, I'm sorry, am I supposed to care like that?
So she should have. I'd have pushed her. They say that Lindsay was in psychosis. I think these women are suffering from psychosis. They've been watching too many true crime Netflix dramas. You know, this was a incredibly privileged woman, incredibly wealthy.
Bro, look at the sheer disgust in her face. Like, she is more offended and disgusted by what this man is saying than the woman who she has more understanding towards the woman who killed her kids than this man's opinions. Like,
She had a nanny and she's still complaining that she needed help. She could not have got more help from the system that she already have received. This is a murderer who strangled her children one by one. One of the boys ran away and she chased him down and killed him.
Laurie Watkins.
What you just said was absolutely disgusting.
Thank
and
you.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Thank you.
And you can hear that he's not.
bro, what's going on with white women? I'm sorry. This case is just like, I don't think there's any group out there more worse than liberal white women or just white women in general. What is going? And you know what? I'm going to generalize. I don't care. What is going on with white women? How are you more mad at this guy and thinking this guy is a worse human being than the person who literally killed their kids?
Okay?
Why? Because it's true.
You clearly don't care, so pipe down.
I don't care. And by the way, men watching this, if you have a
doesn't
woman sat next to
care.
you on the sofa who
The way she says he doesn't care, like that reflects badly on him, or like he's supposed to care or something. What is going on here? I feel like I'm literally losing my mind.
is defending this murderer. You got to think deeply
No
about
one's
this. I've seen
defending.
weddings
So
of
we
being
need to
told
have
off
some
about this.
empathy with-
Talk to your women and
There's a
find out
difference.
what are they thinking. They're defending this woman. It's
I don't think
insane.
anybody's defending what she did.
Guys, they're not defending what she's doing. They're just justifying it. You know, they're just justifying it because of she was depressed, postpartum or whatever dumb shit. So I guess a person that has postpartum, you have to be understanding that they killed their kids. I was just curious, like, what's the conclusion we're supposed to come to about this case in postpartum? Are we supposed to just? Because I feel like the only logical conclusion we can come to is keeping kids away from women.
But you can have empathy for what she
Nobody
went
is.
through and how she.
I know many.
I have zero empathy, and I'm gonna keep it above. What they have for this woman isn't empathy; it's sympathy. They sit there and sympathize with her. They see themselves in her or whatever. It's like some feminist nonsense. That's what this is. It's not empathy. You can't sit there and claim to be empathetic while yelling at your host because you don't like their opinion.
Women that this has happened to. No, they did not kill their children, but they also, what you failed to mention.
They should be commended
quiet,
because they did.
please. I've had it with you.
Oh my God! They
And
should be
your
commended. They
sexism
didn't
and
kill their
misogyny.
children.
All right, that's enough of this. I ain't gonna lie. This case kind of put me like, out of all the things, like, this is definitely the case that just kind of like opened my eyes. Especially, like, you sit there and see all these women donating money towards this woman, out there in support for this woman. They're all white. Like, what's up with white women? Like, there's nothing that's ever put me off for white women more than this case. All these videos of, you sit there and see white women on TikTok throwing ice in the bathroom, setting up their camera, throwing ice, or throwing other temper tantrums, and I get solidarity with Lindsay. Like, bro, I'm gonna go lie, bro. If you got to do all that to stop yourself from harming your kids, bro, just keep kids away from these women. I'm sorry. If a woman is so sympathetic towards Lindsay, whatever, Clancy, whatever her stupid name is, bro, keep kids away from them. That's like, this has to be a litmus test for that. Keep kids away from them. I don't know what to tell you. Like, no, I don't have to be sympathetic. There's a lot of people who go through mental health issues. There's people who get bullied and they suffer through depression, loneliness, and they go shoot up at school. We don't feel sympathetic towards them after you killed a bunch of innocent people. Sorry. Next story, we got Lil Durk. Lil Durk is currently on trial, right? A YouTuber by the name of Trap Lord Rise, who likes to fancy himself as a journalist, because he'll go to the David trial, he'll go to Lil Durk trial, he'll go to all these other trials, but really he just kind of a milker. The nigga likes to spam post, even on cases like, very tragic, very controversial cases like David, where there's like real victims and whatnot. He likes to spam, David videos and whatnot. But nonetheless, he's currently in the middle of covering the Lil Durk trial. He decides to post a video, pretty much saying a video very clickbaity, where he's saying accusing Lil Durk of blaming another person by the name of Vonnie for all the for pretty much all the crimes that were being committed. Now, people watch that or listen to that naturally come to the conclusion, oh, so Durk is snitching. Durk is sitting there putting the blame for some of these charges on Vonnie. When in reality, let Lil Durk side talk about it. Lil Durk, Vonnie already pretty much admitted to a lot of the crimes, snitching on himself and pretty much snitching on Durk. And all Lil Durk is really trying to say is, I have nothing to do with whatever he's talking about, pretty much. So but again, that's what Trap Lord Ross does. He claims to be a journalist, but he's more like Poetic Flocko, another YouTuber, journalist, whatever, blogger, really. Where they just like to clickbait a lot, post a lot of misinformation and whatnot. It just Trap Lord Ross has just a little bit more journalistic integrity. He'll actually go to the cases and whatnot. But no, but he does a lot more work than Poetic Flocko. But they're from the same ilk, pretty much. Very clickbaity titles with that can lead to a lot of misinformation. So he gets pressed at like the Lil Durk trial, where he's like, "Hey, I never sit there and said he was a snitch, although that's the natural conclusion anyone would come to reading his title." So, and of course, other people kind of ran with it, most notoriously 6ix9ine, because of course, you don't remember, 6ix9ine notoriously ruined his career by trying to clean up the streets of New York by snitching on everyone. Nigga was doing so much snitching, he was doing extra credit snitching. Like, bro was trying to get out of prison. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, ever since then, his career's kind of been, once all the nonsense and all the trolling and whatnot, all that dried up, his music career just never took off. Streaming shit never really took off. Overall, just not that interesting of a person until someone else is snitch. So now he has this bitter chip on his shoulder. So every time someone gets accused, it comes out someone snitched or someone gets accused of snitching, you will definitely see 6ix9ine in the comment section trying to urge people to keep the same energy they had with him, regardless of if the situation different or not. So of course, Lil Durk is one of his big ops from back in the day. So naturally, he's in the comment section running with it. Now, anybody with common sense can tell you, like, what Lil Durk did isn't even halfway close to snitching. But 6ix9ine definitely doesn't care, and a lot of these journalists, bloggers, or whatever, they don't care. They just need a narrative so they can make a video or not. So as the trial goes on, one of Durk's close associates actually started snitching on Lil Durk. And a lot of people, according to the testimony of this associate, OTF Jam, you probably recognize that name from the hit song from King Von and Lil Durk and Prince Dre, Back Again, where Lil Durk name drops OTF Jam. Jam get out that jam and whatever, and giving him 50K or whatnot. So he's on he's in the case talking about how Durk made sure his mom got his number when Durk changed his phone number, and he made sure that OTF Jam was good. When he didn't have any clothes, Durk was like, "Oh, nah, you good, you got us," and whatnot. Durk pretty much was looking out for him, based on OTF Jam's own admission. So naturally, people are like, "Damn, that's kind of fucked up. You snitching on a nigga who hasn't really been nothing but good to you." Well, naturally, here's where 6ix9ine comes back in the case, sitting there again in academics comment section, crying to a poster saying, "Well, y'all didn't have that same energy when my gang did all this and that to me, tried to kidnap me. One of the niggas was messing with my baby mama or whatever. Also, again, like, nigga just needs to let it go. But nonetheless, these are two different situations. Like, Lil Durk is being snitched on. You did the snitching, gang. Like, it's different. It's different if you know, maybe people be more sympathetic if they snitched on you or whatnot. But again, you're the one who involved yourself in gang politics, and then got mad when people expected you to stand by those gang politics. I don't think gang members care whether or not, you know, this person did that to you or whatnot when you snitch, because you know, you do a crime with someone, you know, you're supposed to be solid. That, you know, that's how the streets work or whatever. I don't really care about none of that. But you're the one who got involved with it. You're the one who was putting hits on people like Chief Keef, and it snitched on bro. And I don't think bro, the guy who you made go shoot at Chief Keef, I don't think that guy ever did nothing to you. So again, I don't 6ix9ine keeps going on with this narrative like all the people he snitched on were people who were doing bad to him, who were stealing from him, who were doing this and that to him. Not all the people you snitched on did anything to you but be loyal and you know, get in trouble for you. So, but nonetheless though, uh I think I'm gonna do another. I need to do a full video dedicated to Trap Lord Ross, because nigga, I don't like how niggas be on his dick sometimes, bro. Treating this nigga like he's a journalist. This nigga does a lot of foul stuff that I don't know. I'm just not a fan of these white boys who get on YouTube and sit there and make a living off of murders in the black. You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that the same criticism we have for DJ Academics, who did the same thing, but you know, to like a lesser extent? Like, Trap Lord Ross literally has King Von tatted on him while currently dick riding NBA YoungBoy. Like, bro, I don't want to get my street politics and street news from some white dude from the UK. Like, sorry, gang. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But that's it for this episode. I ain't gonna lie. If you were stupid enough to watch this whole entire thing, go ahead and maybe sub, leave a like, or whatever. I don't really care. But, you know, I'm out.